Bronco to start with, because this is the new Bronco Raptor. It is equipped with a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 that puts out about 420 horsepower and 440 foot-pounds of torque. It's also got 37-inch all-terrain tires from the factory with motorsports-grade shocks, so it has a ton of traction. And this is what 21 degrees feels like. Pretty steep, right? But if you look at that pitch and roll meter there, we're actually nowhere near the limit at 21 degrees, though I'm not sure how much further I'd want to push it without a winch, but it's cool to know that it's capable of it. Alright, and this next obstacle, we call this one the twist ditch, which I'm sure you can imagine why watching my friend Sarah navigate it here. It's a little bit more technical, so we're going to change our drive mode over to rock crawl mode. That's going to set us up better for low speed technical terrain, so it's automatically going to shift us into 4-low. Lock our rear differential, disconnect our sway bar, and pull up our cameras for us so we can actually see the obstacle ahead. And I'm actually going to pull up my favorite view here. This shows me my left and my right front tires, so I can be really precise with how I place them on this obstacle. We're also going to lock our front differential. Since it's raining out here, it'll give us a little bit more traction on those front tires climbing up onto the ramp here. So we're going to get some 3-wheel action, and what I mean by that is we're going to have our rear tire come all the way off the ground here in a second. That right rear is off right about now, so you can feel us rocking a little bit. And as I pull forward, the same is going to happen to the left rear tire right about now. So we're going to disconnect the sway bar, which increases suspension travel enough to drop that tire back all the way to the ground. So now we have 4 tires touching instead of 3, which means we have more traction, more stability, a lower center of gravity. Obviously all good things to have when we're on technical terrain, right? And right about now you're probably wondering, well, how do I know when to use all these features, all these buttons and drive modes? If you get a Bronco, you actually get invited to our off-rodeo where they'll give you an instructor who will put you behind the wheel of a Bronco out in the wild, and they'll teach you what all these buttons, bells, and whistles do and when to use them. And it's a really cool way to spend a Saturday. I might be a little bit biased, but I do think getting to rip these things around on some real off-road trails out in the mountains or the desert is a little cooler than ripping around the convention center here. Not that I'm complaining, because it's still pretty cool to get to drive these things out here in the wild. And we're actually going to go ahead and open up our exhaust, which is going to increase our exhaust flow here and open up the sound for us. So you'll notice quite a difference when I accelerate here. It's going to give us a nice sporty sound. Alrighty, short and sweet, but thank you so much for joining us.